Hello, my name's Barry. I would like to welcome you to Christianity Explained, where my goal is to share biblical principles and ideas to help you with your Christian walk. Have you ever struggled with stress and anxiety as it relates to your work? Or how about those annoying employees or employers that you have to deal with? I know the feeling. Boy, I know the feeling. And if you're thinking that, wait a minute, Barry, you're what, a blogger? You write blog. How stressful can that be? You create YouTube videos to hopefully compliment. What are you babbling about? The next one that's easier is probably gaming videos. If you think that, guys, then I beg to differ. But this video is not about me at all, really. I'm going to share some ideas that come from my experience, and I do have some office-related job too. That's meant to help you with reducing the level of stress and anxiety that you may. And I think you'll find it interesting and helpful. First tip I would suggest is, and it might sound a little shocking or radical, ever think of just having fun and enjoying the work you do? What is this guy talking about? Well, it's really quite simple. It's not that far-fetched. I have friends who aren't even in my field that say exactly the same thing. In physical therapy and other areas, even that, I guess, waiting on tables. But the thing is, they've said the same thing. They enjoy the work they're doing, and it's not always for the pay. If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to do as so well. And it is true. And I do enjoy the work, and it is very interesting. And I can tell you right now, I walked into this niche. That's the topic or arena that I'm in. I didn't walk into this area niche thinking I was gonna no. I'd have to go into tech related, anything that really generates revenue. This type, not so much. But I do enjoy it, even though it is challenging. Now, I would be a little remiss if I didn't bring up an interesting point. And I think a gentleman gave a reply to a comment I made on the Epic Time. I made a similar comment. It says, "Yeah, I got one job. I got two jobs actually. I think it was three. One job that I actually do enjoy, and you're right. But those jobs don't always pay the bills. But rather, he had to take work that actually put food on the table. You have to earn a money somehow, and it does mean taking jobs that you're not going to go, oh wow, I'm looking forward to waiting on table and dealing with all these customers who don't have any respect and cheapskate tippers and all those things." Well, he does have a valid point in that respect. However, I wasn't talking about, oh wow, I'm going to have fun with this job. Not quite. See, the fun I'm talking about had to do with the heart. It's the heart, you fool! It's the heart! Not the stupid job! Yeah, it's heart attitude. If our heart says, no one, in spite of the difficulty and the challenges and the pay and all that, I'm going to have a positive, healthy attitude. I'm going to enjoy the work I do, and I'll just trust God to deal with the cheapskate customers or the troll or whatever it is that's annoying the crap out of you. All right. And in my case, yeah, I've had those days. I remember very well a troll coming by. He was reacting, and oh God, that thing went downhill. I didn't like it, and there was a lot of other junk, but that didn't stop me from blogging, and it didn't because I enjoyed the work I did, even though there were difficulties and problems. I also remember having one person jumping the gun on what I wrote. When I said to be discerning, I was not belittling what was being said in the prophetic, but rather I said, listen to what God is saying. Ask questions. Don't just follow the herd on whatever is being said and say, yeah, and not give thought. You should give thought to what you hear. Oh, yeah, yike. He really misunderstood. I get those. And that's normal. You probably had that in other jobs like physical therapy. You have somebody misinterpret what you're saying and jump the gun. Or a client that would be, who knows? Oh, yeah. Or perhaps you have a boss or an employer who's being kind of difficult for some reason. The best thing to do, and yes, saying, okay, I'm going to enjoy the work I do, but that's one tip. Second is learn to surrender it to Jesus. Learn to say, Father, I can't control what the troll is going to do. I can't control what some person who jumped the gun on what I wrote. I can't control that. But I can control me. I can control, with the Lord's help, control what comes out of my mouth and what I'm choosing to dwell on. I can only control that. Yeah. Otherwise, there would be a lot of people's heads going right through a wall. I'm sure my head would have been going through a few walls too. But see, that's the thing. You can choose how to respond and say, I'm not going to let that person bother me. Father, I give it to you. I ask that you will touch that person's heart. I ask, Father, I forgive so and so. I'm choosing to forgive. I'm choosing to let go of my anger and give it to you, Lord. And I know that I've heard that does help. It may not magically cause the problem to disappear, but it does help. Because the Father does care about us, His children, and is interested in helping. But you got to ask Him. Now for the third tip. And it took a while for me to figure this one out. I don't know about you, but I've had occasion where people come up and they tell me some strange thing. And I'm like, why the heck are you telling me this? Some years later, I learned that, oh, wait a minute, you mean I was supposed to pray for that person? Oh, you mean that person may have been unconsciously drawn to me through the Holy Spirit, so that I would say, Father, I don't know what the heck is going on with that person, but I ask you touch his heart and mind. Father, I don't know why my boss is being a little unreasonable right now, but he's probably under a lot of stress. So, Father, I ask you touch his heart and and help him resolve and not take on me. But maybe that's why. But he may unconsciously know that you're likely to pray for the person and be forgiving. Hmm. Uh, and yes, though I don't always think of it, sometimes they help. Say, hey, are you needing prayer? I don't know, but I'm going to leave that between you and the Lord to decide that one, okay? Because I realize that's not always a good idea. Oh, I do want to encourage you to involve Christ, involve Jesus in your work life. Mm. Think about it this way: He may be wanting you to pray for that person to be a blessing and a help, even though they may not know it. But ask Him, and yes, the Lord will reveal if something is bad and say, you actually need to get out of that. Or He may make arrangements for changes to happen. I don't know. I've heard all kinds of stories. But the important thing is you need to develop a relationship with the Lord of trust, knowing His word, what He's saying, and trust the guidance of the Holy Spirit in the matter. Not what you hear on YouTube or read in a blog post. And the last tip, which I mentioned in the blog post, is need to is the need to, well, I probably called a different word. My mom would call it time management. If you know that you have a Thanksgiving dinner the next day, then do the prep the night before so that way you're not stressed out. Because she was like a manager at a restaurant and she had Thanksgiving dinner planned. So rather than drive herself nuts because she knew she had to be at work, she get the work done ahead of time. She would manage her time in such a way so she would have less to do the next day and not ready to blast somebody through a wall. Oh, but and frankly, I thought that was a smart move. And I had to learn to do something along the same line, even though I'm not a time management person like my mother. It's more like prioritize. Okay, what needs to be done? Does it need to be this need to be done now? What? And I had to learn to develop a system to help me. So this job of content creation doesn't end up being overwhelming. I had to learn. Okay, do I really need to? That's why I'm just gonna create the YouTube video that goes with the blog post. And I have, okay, I'm over here, I'm over there. Ah! It's also why I chose to stick with two and not try doing some every day and spread out the work. And in my case, it's been suggested through a simple hint, hey, why not delegate? In other words, let some others help out where they can. There are a lot of ways to reduce the stress and anxiety. Because I can tell you, it is not fun holding on to the anxiety. That's why I had the thumbnail that I shown you at the beginning. And I hope it was a good thumbnail for you. All right. I want to thank you for your time. Hope you have a blessed day. See you when I see you.